It's hard to forget pancake night, but we'll explain what that's all about later. To begin the trip, well, let's start at the beginning.
3 days, 2 nights and 46 kilometres of alpine rainforest and mountains in front of us.
I think the beech forests were the best thing this day. What about you, Beck?
Yeah, I also liked the sight of water everywhere. Very different to what we're used to in dry old Brisbane. Here, it rains 5,000 millimetres a year.
Well, we were lucky it was so fine for the walk. Rhonda and I dawdled a bit, while you walked on ahead, of course. Eventually we climbed to Key Summit, where 3 rivers begin their flow to the sea.
Snow-capped peaks and incredible views. Everywhere we walked for the 3 days. There are waterfalls everywhere. This is Fiordland Falls, 80 metres high, and I love the feeling of the cool spray on my face. Lake Howden was a great place for lunch.
And it looks like a bit of a good place for a rest too, Beck.
Had to do something while waiting for you and Mum.
Well, Rhonda and I were quite happy to walk a bit and a bit more, smell the flowers and admire the beech trees.
Our first night was spent at the lodge at Lake Mackenzie.
Yes, more snow-capped peaks and a valley lake, out of which we'd have to climb the next day.
The lodge had an old pianola actually, horribly out of tune, but lots of fun peddling an old Elvis tune.
Yeah, sounded good. Well, next morning we left the lodge behind as we zigzagged up the Hollyford Face, the most exposed section of the track.
But the fine weather held, and from Ocean's Corner you could see the Tasman Sea.
So we eventually got to Harris Saddle and an optional walk, which took you to the top, way up there, to the Conical, hey?
I did it, but Mum and Dad piked out, preferring to stay down in the shelter. At the Conical, and what a view! But the weather closed in and it got very cold.
And then there's Lake Harris, the most enchanting place that I've ever seen. Rhonda and I were gobsmacked by its beauty. If only these photos could tell the full story. The lake, the valley and distant waterfall, all guarded by surrounding snow-capped peaks.
Then the track drops steeply into the upper Routeburn Valley, leading down to the lodge.
Yes, it was good to see the lodge, with its hot showers and promise of home cooking, and a chance to take those boots off.
Then the fun began. The guides have a tradition of cooking pancakes and throwing them at the walkers.
Yes, throwing them. If you want a pancake for dessert, then you have to catch it. On the count of 3.
1,
I did it.
And so did I.
And Rhonda, wearing a helmet, caught hers also.
This was our wettest day, but it was nice seeing the rainforest in the rain.
Yes, I think we've already said that this place gets a lot of rain a year, and I've never seen so much moss growing.
And lots of native plants and flowers. You probably want to show them, Dad.
What a good idea. Let's have a nature interlude. Swell the music. Another swinging bridge to cross, and the final 10 kilometres of the track have just about been walked.
I'd walked ahead, of course, while Mum and Dad were the last to finish.
Well, at least we finished.
The best ending was the group photo. What a crazy picture.
Yes, I reckon. You can't see it in the photo, but a blizzard was about to blow us away, and the photographer said something like, "How do you all feel?" So we told him, and then we got out of there.